Albany, Georgia, Battle of the Giants, number 7. Our host is Todd Coe from Albany. Todd, how you doing?
Fantastic, Scott.
Good.
Thank you for coming.
No, thank you for inviting me down. I appreciate it. It's great. Let me tell people, first of all, I left Halifax, Nova Scotia Friday morning in a snowstorm. I'm sitting here in Georgia just sweating like crazy.
81 degrees and 100% humidity.
Better than the snow, folks. I got to tell you that much. But so, just give me a little bit of background, Todd. What first got you interested in arm wrestling?
Actually, a group of my friends I'd grown up in high school with had been into it for years. Many of you, a man named Mr. Bill Thomas. He was good friends with Cleve Dean. He competed many years ago, and every now and again he comes out of retirement to compete. And he got us all started as boys, our early 20s, and we pulled for years and just really enjoyed it, traveling and spending time, you know. Too old to run up and down the football field anymore, so it was the next best thing.
Okay, so when you first started arm wrestling, how did you do? Like, were you pretty good starting out?
Well, my first match in my life was against Cleve Dean, so it wasn't a great experience. It didn't last long. Cleve was knife and didn't rip my arm off. So, but no, other than that, I did okay. I was competitive. Probably my best year of competition was 2002.
Okay.
And since then, I've just had a bunch of nagging injuries, torn ligaments in my wrist, my shoulder, and you know, and I've always was a real decent arm wrestler.
Yeah.
I was never nowhere near the Ron Bath elite. I was nowhere even close, but I just love the sport. I actually truly have to say I enjoy more running a tournament now, doing the brackets, and which I do for a lot of different people at tournaments, and watching the tournament more than I do pulling anymore. It's sad to say, but it's truthful.
Okay, so this is Battle of the Giants number 7.
Yes, sir.
So obviously, then 6 years ago, you did Battle of the Giants 1. So what? First of all, where did the Battle of the Giants name come from, and what first got you interested in actually putting on your own tournament and promoting one?
Actually, it was a group effort. You know, every time you go to a tournament, they're always mainly in Florida for us or Alabama, and it was always 5 or 6 hour drive. And we at the time was trying to get people stirred in arm wrestling right here in South Georgia, because at one time it was 4 of your world champions were coming out of right here, you know, Georgia. Burt Whitfield, Ron Bath, Johnny Walker, Cleve Dean, some of the greats in the sport.
Those are huge names in arm wrestling.
Right, and it died. They're the ones that got us into it, and then it died because they pulled out of it. And that's why we started. And the Battle of the Giants was real simple. Cleve Dean has always been a very good friend of ours. Mr. Cleve will do anything he can to help you, you know. And then we had David Randall, who's always reffed. I've not had but one tournament David Randall didn't ref at, and that was he had personal reasons, and that's the only reason he wasn't here. So, and we knew those two was going to wrestle, so we said, hey, that's 2 of the biggest men in the sport, so let's call it Battle of the Giants. And the name stuck. It's been a good name. It's been a great tournament. God, I just really love it every year. See all my good friends from all over. I think, not counting Canada, we have about 10 states represented so far.
Really, 10 states here too.
Yeah.
Great. Mm-hmm. So has the tournament grown each year? Have you peaked? Have you
I don't ever want to say I peaked, except maybe hopefully in my weight. We're gonna hold that peak. You know, 4 years ago I was 230. Now I'm 314. So we got to quit eating the collard greens and the cornbread.
I hear that. I hear that.
I don't want to say it's peak. Last year we had 240 entries. It was a great year. This year I'm not sure how many entries we have yet.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I say we're pretty close to 200.
Wow.
Just by I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of pullers here.
Well, there is, and I mean, inside and outside, there's pullers all over the place right now.
Yeah. Fat Boys division is very heavy. Today, you know, Ron is here with his son. His son is pulling in the mega match left-handed, and David's here to referee. I don't think either one of them's going to enter the tournament this year. And I don't blame them. You know, let's be honest. Hey, there's a lot of great pullers, but you know, when you're talking David Randall and Ron Bath, you're really up there in the top 1%.
Yeah, that's the high elite, and for me, a huge thrill for me today. I get to meet Cleve Dean for the very first time.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Huge thrill.
If you've never met Cleve Dean and you see him at a tournament, you need to make an effort for one to go shake that hand. That's just a massive hand.
People, Todd is not lying. Cleve shook my hand. It was just unbelievable. I mean, I'm not that small of a guy, 6'2", 320 pounds.
Yeah.
But Cleve Dean's hand is just
will swallow
unreal.
you. Just swallow you. It's a massive hand.
Yeah.
But he's just as good a man as you want to meet, and I have never known Mr. Cleve to turn anybody down when they ask for knowledge. He will give you every bit of knowledge he's got, and you're talking about a man that nearly went undefeated for several years, you know, and he is one of the top in the sport. Even now, you know, he don't train or anything, and he still, I put my money on him again's most.
The man is a legend. He's a legend in
understatement. I believe that's an understatement, Scott.
Yeah, I don't know any other word I could think of. I mean, I remember watching him in the 70s on Wild World of Sports when I was considerably younger, and he was unbelievable then. This is just a legendary man in arm wrestling.
Yeah, and we're lucky. You got several other great people here. You know, you got Mr. Pete Royal, Lee Culpepper, Karen Bean, of course, Mr. James Battles. You know, of course, David Randall, Ron Bass here. Then you got a lot of guys who maybe, you got Ray Hendricks here.
Yeah.
Then you got a lot of guys here that are very well known around here. Tom Foss out of Lakeland, Florida. I mean, to some, they say, oh, we don't know who he is. Well, around here we know who he is. Tom's a good old boy. He's always very competitive. He doesn't get to travel and compete as much because he runs his own business, and many of you know that feeling. A lot of great ladies. You got Beth Westbury here today. Terry Dean and Dana Spradley, two of Cleve's daughters. Okay. They're here competing today. Always very competitive. So, good Jacksonville team. Good group of boys from Louisiana here. You got John Tubes, who's an up-and-coming young man. I don't know if people seen him lately on the message board.
We've seen the name, and I've heard a little bit about him. Haven't seen him personally yet.
I've personally watched him pull 3 times, and I can honestly say I've seen him progress faster than most in a year's time. I wouldn't bet against him.
Okay.
Not in his weight class, not in 78 kilos. I would not bet against him. He is tough. He's in the mega match today. I think we're going to have some great competition. Just really looking forward to it.
Good. So it's going to be a great day. Let's give a big shout out to our host here today, Hooters.
Yes, sir.
In Albany, Georgia. One of your sponsors.
My only sponsor besides me. Many people don't know it. A year ago, we had a massive tornado tear up our communities on either side of us, Americus, Georgia, and Camilla, Georgia, and done severe damage. I mean, it totally destroyed a major hospital, and so unfortunately, a lot of the economy is going toward rebuilding.
Okay.
So this year, I personally took the money out of my pocket. Which that might be why I'm sweating. It ain't the heat, it's the money. And then of course Hooters put in their part. They're gracious enough for the parking lot, and put a little money down, and we appreciate everything they do. It's just a great location. There's food, there's beverages of your choice.
Yeah.
From tea to whatever you choose to drink. I just can't say enough. Dana, come here a minute, please. Come here a minute. I'm going to show everybody this shirt, if you don't mind just saying.
No, I don't mind at all.
This is physically Cleve Dean's hand. It was traced. Step right here in front of me,
Step
Dana.
right in front of us.
That is Cleve Dean's hand. It was traced onto the shirt. People want to know. They can contact Dean via the Northeast message board.
Okay.
$10 a shirt, and you can have Cleve Dean's hand on your chest. And I'd rather have it on the shirt than physically, I tell you. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great time, Scott. I'm just tickled. We're sorry about that.
No. It's good. That's good. No, you know what? So when I got the invite last year, they contacted me last year. I thought, this is great. I'll go down and see what it's about. And it is true. So as a Canadian, I could say it is true what they say about Southern hospitality. It is second to none. Everybody's just treated me unbelievably well here, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm out of a snowstorm.
Well, it's just like I say, if you've never been through the South and you're from the North, it is a little bit of a culture shock. I'm quite sure.
It's quite, it's quite a bit different, and the people are quite a bit different than what I'm used to. But it's good. I have nothing bad.
Everybody remembers. I reckon you could say the what they seen in movies.
Yeah.
And you can't believe that mess between people's. It don't happen right here. I'm 36 years old, and I ain't never been involved in it.
Okay.
I got many friends of many races and nationalities. The only reason they're not here competing today is because they work with me and for me.
Okay.
So somebody has to hold the fort down. And since I own it, I'm the one that's going to take the day off.
There you go.
I just wish we could get some more guys here. Unfortunately, Tim Sears didn't make it this year. He was going to, and Mike Shalhoub. Things just didn't happen this year. And they were here last year, and it'll grow again. It's an up and down year. I don't want to say we peaked, but we maintain about 200 entries. Our worst year ever was 150 entries. That's the worst year I've had in 5 years.
Wow.
Now, actually, people don't know. When we started in a flea market in Sasser, Georgia.
A flea market.
And if you've never been to Sasser, Georgia, you probably can't find it on the Georgia map.
Okay.
There is but one caution light in a flea market. That's about Sasser. And then we went to a Ramada Inn here in Albany, which was nice. We had about, I believe, 100 entries that year. And then our first year at Hooters, we had Chad Silvers, and it was the last year of the GNC, matter of fact.
Okay.
Tournaments. And we just had a banner year that year, 220 entries, and then from then we're kind of up and down, with the economy and gas. It's tough on people. And all I got to say to anybody, if you come, you're more than welcome. If you can't, hey, I'm not mad at you. I understand you got to pick and choose and do what you think is right, because life will override everything else.
Definitely. Well, look, that's great. That's all I have for now. I look forward to a great afternoon of arm wrestling. And look, thanks again for having me here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. It's my privilege. My privilege to have you.
It's all mine. All right, for Todd Coe, I'm Scott McGinnis, and we're out from Georgia. Thanks.